He's Dan Petty. He's the digital director of sports for the Denver Post to tell us about what's trending now.
Well, just a few minutes ago, we learned that Justin Morneau of the Colorado Rockies has been moved to the 60-day disabled list. He has continued to struggle with recovering from that concussion since he suffered it on May 16th. Head snapped back in a whiplash motion while he was diving for a ball. You know, the Rockies just don't seem to be getting lucky with anything these days, despite the fact that, you know, DJ LeMahieu surprisingly made it into the All-Star game. But what does Morneau's long-term absence mean for the Rockies, especially because he was National League batting champion last year, and they have at times really struggled offensively, and when your pitching's not there, you're especially in trouble with that.
Now I think they're at the point where Justin is at the point where he has to wonder how much more career he has left. This is a situation that's bothered him for quite a few years now. He did stay healthy last year. He was able to win a batting championship, but he has this whiplash thing going on now, and it causes concussion-like symptoms. He can't get past it. He's been working out at Coors Field over the last month. He's been in the batting cage, not on the field, but underneath the stands, and hitting it off a tee. But they've been reluctant to throw live batting practice to him. He just can't get past this.
So do you think like a pinch hitting role in the future, if it's a less kind of a no?
Not here. I don't see it. I think this is the end of it. But I assume it's a 60-day retro because this happened in April, May?
Yeah, May 16th, yeah.
So you May to June to July, he really could come off after the All-Star game.
A week and a half from now.
So I think he's not going to come back this year. I think there have been history of players that couldn't fly. And they had to quit baseball. There's players who got hit that no longer play. I think this is the second time around that he spent months out when he was with the Twins and had a concussion. I think his family and he are going to decide, and I'm not trying to tell them what to do, but I think they're going to decide that it's time for him to stop playing baseball, because I think there's going to always be this thought. There are always going to be concerns. You don't want to affect your long-term quality of life.
No, and it's much harder when you go out the way that he did, you know, after a season like he had last year.
I would compare it to watching Wes Welker play.
Right.
Every time Wes gets hit, you wonder if he's going to be able to get up, and if he does get up, you wonder if he's going to have.
And teams are obviously taking notice of that too.
Right.
He's still unsigned.
Well, and that's a good point. Justin's going to have trouble because the Rockies aren't going to bring him back. Justin's going to have trouble hooking on with another team. This is a third year now that he's suffered from these symptoms, and I just don't know if he has any career left.
You say how much they missed him. Actually, Ben Paulson's come in and been a nice player. Rosario has not been a total mess-up at first base defensively, and he's hitting around 300, which is about what he is. But his long-term goal should be to be a DH in the American League, and you would hope that that would be a moving part for them over the next month. But I think, I bet you, I would sit here and bet you the two of you, they don't make any deals or trades at all. They're going to play this out.
I could absolutely see that. You probably saw the video last night, or yesterday rather, published on the Tallahassee Democrats page of FSU redshirt freshman DeAndre Johnson punching a woman in a bar. The state prosecutor released that video, and by the time Jimbo Fisher saw it, he was apparently vacationing in the remote parts of West Virginia. It did not take him long for him to drop him from the team, so he's off the team. Now his lawyer says, and went on the Today Show and said that he was apparently provoked by racial epithets and other actions that this woman said after she bumped into him. And, you know, this is the lawyer side of the story, but says that she kneed him in the groin, and then that's when he decided after that provoking to take a swing at her, after she, of course, also did the same thing. So that's his side of the story. This is what FSU is doing. I don't see how FSU had any other choice, given that video evidence, to drop him. I mean, it's just
after what they went through with their last quarterback.
No.
You just don't. He was the Florida Player of the Year, which means in Florida you are a great player, because there's so many great players come out of the state of. But really, do you want to go through that again? No, they didn't want to, and so they had suspended him, waiting for whatever was going to be the outcome of the situation. Anybody that's seen it should be able to say, yes, he may have been provoked verbally, maybe he was provoked by a shove. You know what you do in that situation? walk away.
And that's, as Laura said, he's sorry that he didn't walk away. But why don't you walk away?
Agreed, you do walk away. But guys, I think it's more complicated than that. I mean, you saw her raise her right fist in the video,
but that's only,
and then you saw her punch him with her left. Yes, he should have walked away, but I don't think this is so cut and dry. I really don't.
But this is only this. So in your mind, there should not be two standards about men and women. I think this is a case where there has to be two standards because you're talking about. There are things.
And we also didn't hear the audio.
The things in life that
and that's an edited. Like we don't see the whole thing. We see just the swing.
There are things in life that are unfair. I think that no matter what a woman does to you, you walk away.
I agree with that.
You walk away. It's not fair, maybe, because you say, "Oh, kicked him in the groin." And everything. Walk away.
Well,
I don't care what you call it.
When I say it's more complicated than that, I mean I could see him coming up with a self-defense defense.
Well, we'll find all this out.
He was attacked by her.
We'll find. I think a lot more is going to come out. He's scheduled to have his.
He's attacked by her. Walk away.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. He's scheduled to appear in court on July 22nd, so I assume that once we see that, we're going to maybe find out more details from both sides. But
and it's going to be. Oh yeah, she did all this to me.
He's been charged with misdemeanor battery.
Yeah, walk away.
Walk away.
And here's what's going to happen to him. He's going to go to another school, sit out for a year, and it'll be something like Central Arkansas or someplace like that. He's going to have to move down in class. Nobody's going to touch him on a major college level. He'll go play at some small school, and people will take a look at him 2 or 3 years from now.
Even if he's convicted of just a misdemeanor or found not guilty at all?
Well, I think if he goes on some kind of thing and, seeks help, goes to counseling or something like that, does some sort of community service.
Well, rehabs himself.
Who was the kid that's named after the animal, had the streak in his hair, that had to switch schools?
Badger?
Yeah, Honey Badger.
Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, he was a serial marijuana smoker or whatever, got suspended all those times, and ended up in the NFL. So I mean, he can reconstruct his football career.
It's just a lot harder.
Rehab his
reputation. May have to do it at
Yeah.
another place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last thing you guys talked about this, you last talked about this a little yesterday, was the final ratings for the Women's World Cup are in,
Wow.
and 25.4 million people in the United States saw it, about 26 million worldwide, 1.27 million of those were on Telemundo, so it's the most watched Women's World Cup game in U.S. Spanish television history, most watched soccer game in U.S. history, even topping the previous record was Portugal versus the United States in the Men's World Cup in 2014. That was about 18.9 million.
That number topped Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Topped Game 6 of the NBA Finals, and actually was on par. Get this, on par with the Royals. Game 7, which was about 23.8 million people this last season. So I think women's soccer is certainly continuing to grow, continuing to develop. But what does this mean for this team? Where do you see women's soccer going in this country in terms of just fan interest? Like outside of this, the women's professional league continues to struggle. Is this going to be something that only people are going to be interested in every 4 years for either the World Cup?
Well, I'd like to answer that quickly. No, it doesn't do anything for women's soccer in terms of leagues or doing anything. I think it has a positive effect on young women at the high school, the junior high school level, that they go, oh, I can be a part of this. In regard to attention in this country, no. It'll be 2 years from now when the men play, people get excited again. I think, and I say this somewhat lightly, but now we have to put up with soccer geeks all the time because people, I told you it was the next great sport in the whole world. Gymnastics, we win a gold medal. We let it go away for 4 years. It's great for the game. It's not going to suddenly cause a league or people want to watch women's soccer around the world. It's one of those moments like Miracle on Ice of that genre where people get really behind something, and America loses too often.
But is women's soccer, do you think, more watchable than men's soccer? Especially the men's team compared to the U.S.
It's more fun watching women's soccer.
Yeah.
It's lighter. There's more teamwork.
There's not flopping. Did you notice
Did you notice any kind of... They support each other better. Right. There's more emotion. It's just more fun to watch. I'll tell you where it will help. Because Fox had such success in the ratings with this game, with this run that they made, you'll probably see more women's soccer televised when the national team is involved, which will put more money into their coffers.
Because
which will help their
you've
cause.
probably seen the statistic, the German men's team that won in 2014, $35 million payout from FIFA, the U.S. women only $2 million.
Right.
Huge gap. It was really interesting. I saw a tweet yesterday showing the when they won the 1991 World Cup. It was on the inside, on the lower right-hand corner of the Philadelphia Inquirer, this like 4-paragraph story when they won the World Cup in 1991. So it's clear the game has come a long way.
The program will get richer. There will be a trickle down. It'll help, but there's not going to be an explosion. It will grow incrementally, not exponentially. Dan, thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
All right, he's Dan Petty of the Denver Post, digital director of sports, I should say, and you can read him at denverpost.com. That segment brought to you by our Harmony Foundation, Colorado's premier treatment program for drug and alcohol addiction. It's located just outside of Estes Park on a private 45-acre mountain campus. They are insurance friendly at Harmony, so visit harmonyfoundationinc.com.